how we're going to kind of do this stream.
What's the best platform to stream on? How's Twitch doing? How's YouTube
So like
doing?
business, marketing, tech, news, like anything non-political there. I'm hoping for people that are like trying to go into the business world or interested in these kind of topics, they'll get inspired. And then we'll be able to talk about these things at kind of a higher level than basically any other broadcast that does this live because of the business background and that kind of thing. So that's the idea. I think that a lot of content creators spend way too much time worrying about the people that like hate them and the people that don't support them, and they're trying to change their content to win them over. I fucking just made that mistake because I was thinking like, oh, I need to post like kind of higher quality stuff. I need to spend more time filming stuff offline for YouTube, when like that's not true. It's just not true. Like I just need to post like everything I can, and I should trust in my own expertise. You should trust in your own expertise, right? Like like so many people do stuff because of like one negative comment or like a handful of negative comments. Those people don't even know you, and they're just projecting something onto you, and you just have to keep going. And for all of you, man, that want to create or want to do something in the world, like never be afraid that that's cringe or anything. Like just realize the number, like when you create something, when you write something, when you make something, when you say something, when you're brave enough to do that, you are already beyond like 99% of people that are sitting complaining about everything, that don't believe that they can change anything, that are existing in their own self-filling loop that all goes on and on and on. And today they wake up and their day is the same as it's going to be the next day. There's this uncomfortable feeling, and it stops you from creating. It forces you to, it throws you towards like procrastination, and it's something that you won't identify as fear if you're just feeling it. It's kind of like a general anxiety, but it is actually fear that you're feeling. And so like once you start something, I guess let me tell you kind of like a personal story about this. Okay, so like I've started this journey towards content creation, and I have this goal, right, that I want to make 1 million subs, and I want to get that goal, or you know, the AV90 of 100K per video, which I think is more realistic. And what started happening was I started producing a lot. I started making a lot more videos than I ever have before. I started doing one short a day. I started doing one long form video or like almost a day, but 3 or 4 long form videos a week. I started writing, and what happened? Well, immediately as a result of doing this, I started losing subscribers, and that was really surprising, and I started failing. And then it became really expensive to run this because I was paying a lot of people, and I'm not going to be cash flow positive here in the month of October running the channel. And I was really surprised by that. I was like, oh, okay, like it's not working. And then, you know, my shorts were underperforming and they started off getting 1 to 3K shorts a day. And then my long form videos also actually originally started to underperform just in terms of how the channel used to be doing. And simultaneously, I'm getting a bunch of these people unsubscribing. And now, well, I won't tell you what happened because you have to wait for that story. But I got scared. I mean, I started really feeling this fear here, like a lot. Most people think that you've avoided a bad decision by making no decision, but you've actually made a worse decision. Okay, this is one of the most important lessons I have to teach, and something that took me many, many years to learn. Making no decision is the same as is worse than making a bad decision. The reason is because a bad decision can potentially have positive outcomes in 2 ways. Number one, it could teach you something, and number two, you might make a bad decision, but actually it ends up being a good thing. How many of you have had that happen? Where you thought you made a bad decision, like, man, I really shouldn't have gone out with that girl, but it ended up being like someone that you really like. A bad decision can turn into a good decision. A good decision can turn into a bad decision, can teach you something, go back into the flywheel here. But no decision always results in the same thing. Complacency, stagnance, death. That's the problem with no decision. Most people think that they're avoiding making bad decisions by making no decision. What they're really doing is they're burning out the candle on their life, and they're gonna fail. It's this constant feel of failure and success, like a constant, like, and social media in general is this, but Twitch is like the worst for it. You're making a career off of it is the worst for it. It's like social media in general is like, oh, this person followed me, like that should make me feel good, or this person has more followers for me, that should make me feel bad. Up and down, up and down, up and down. It's all bullshit, dude. It's all created by humans. It doesn't matter. This is all just shit that other people tell you is important. When like real fulfillment is people, like good conversations, doing stuff that's meaningful, helping other people, solving problems, stuff like that. Sounds really cliche, but it's true. This is the #1 like news stream on Twitch. Like when shit's going down, a lot of people watch this stream, and that's cool. But man, I was getting like 3,000 to 4,000 concurrents every day for like 2 weeks. I was terrified because I was like, oh my God, like this is gonna go down. Like 24/7% of my time, dude. I was like meditating on failure. I was like, I will not exist here soon. Dude, it's so hard to get past yourself. That's a funny thing too, because people think that ends. That it's like, oh, Devin's a super successful entrepreneur. He's made it. He's got a really good life, right? No, I wake up scared every day. And I'm serious. I wake up scared every single day. It never ends. The day where I feel like you're all going to realize that I'm a huge fraud and I'm a failure as a person and I have nothing useful to say, I think that the key to any sort of success is understanding that is the case case, and that is for whatever reason, not all of the chemicals inside of us are mixed right. And so that is the default that we're all at. And so if that's going to be the case, you just are going to go out and do it anyway, because I don't know what else to do. I would say that the last 3 years has just been me consistently waking up and being like my focus. I've had some like personal focus stuff too. So there was stuff that I wanted to accomplish in my personal life that was around physical fitness and relationships and stuff like that I won't bore you with. That's all good now. And so also professionally, I wanted to wake up every day and be like, all right, can I push the needle to be literally the best I can be? Can I do the best I can today? And I didn't feel like I was a person worthy of being out here in front of you. I kind of expected that to change when all of the other stuff in my life got better. And maybe the real reason why I quit creating content was because I didn't feel like that internally. So now you might say, oh, well, you feel like that internally. No, I still feel like that. And you may feel like that too. You may want to create something, or you want to do something where you take a risk, or you do more, and you're like, I'm not ready. There's a point in time where I'm not ready to do that. And there would be a point in time later where I can do that. I'm here to tell you that the time will never come. So I clicked the start streaming button today. I feel exactly the same as I did 2 years ago, unworthy, regardless of how my net worth has increased or my life circumstances have changed. That will never change. The only difference now is that I realize that we have an obligation to do it anyway.
Do you think streaming is a fulfilling job? No. The vast majority of broadcasters at a high level are pretty unhappy. This is something I think about a lot, because it's very tempting to want to like go into streaming full time, even for someone like me. Obviously, like I've set up my life in a way that I can't really do it, but like I mean to put a lot more hours into it. And when I really think about it, because I have personal relationships with so many people, I know that like the end of that is not fulfillment. But I think you just need to look at it from a like literally just like a practical perspective. Do you think that somebody that's playing games for 12 hours a day gets no exercise and like has no fulfilling relationships outside of like video games and like the sort of relationship they have with their chat is healthy? You just have to think about it. Like just think about that kind of life. It's not to say that there are not some people who do get a level of fulfillment out of it. And also there's some people that like it hits different. They do different stuff. They do like production, or they do like some kind of like specific thing or whatever. Think about the life that streaming begets, right? You're always clout chasing, because that's the game. That's how you make money. So every single person that's streaming full time is clout chasing, bar none. Anyone that tells you that's like, oh, I don't care about viewers or whatever, is lying to you. And so there's always a sort of feast or famine type of thing where you're constantly getting the dopamine hit of the times when your viewership is up, and then getting that depression from when your viewership is down. So you're just like on this roller coaster all the time, because like and a lot of that shit isn't even up to you. Like a lot of that shit is like, it doesn't even, whether you get like 500 viewers today or like 1,000 viewers tomorrow or whatever, a lot of that is like so many external market factors that it doesn't matter. Then worse than that, you're always comparing yourself to people like Hassan Abi or people like XQC or whatever that are just impossibly large. You can never be these people, right? And they make millions of dollars a minute, and like you're just like fucking like, man, like who am I? So your goalpost is always infinitely ahead of you to be like this like fucking massive celebrity that like and all this stuff like that doesn't even matter, all in like a niche like place where I don't know how to explain any differently that like real fulfillment doesn't come from that. Real fulfillment in life comes from thinking that you're doing something valuable that matters. So like in the context of my stream, right, I'm not a full-time streamer, but when I come on here, I feel like I'm doing something that matters. We're talking about business shit, we're talking about industry shit, we're talking about cool concepts, we're going back and forth. I try to keep the stream very positive vibes, very like entertaining. So at the very least, even if you don't give a shit about business, like you come in here and you get positive vibes, which counts. And I'm here because I want to make a difference, and that fulfills it. If I was here because I wanted to like get a bunch of clout and stuff like that, I'd be like fucking miserable. It would really suck to be like that. Now there's exceptions to every rule, and you can definitely find people that like have found a balance. And I can even think of some broadcasters that like live balanced lives, but I don't know them that well. I just think that a large amount of what like society and social media tells you is like your path to happiness is not going to get you there. It seems like you'd be really happy with like a lot of money and a bunch of Twitter followers, but then you're like, wait, this doesn't count for shit. Because when I really have a problem, none of these people are here for me, and my money doesn't matter to solve it, because all my problems are existential. I just want good friends, good vibes, and good family, and I want to do things that are fulfilling. One of the most annoying things for streamers that took me, I think, months and months to get over, it doesn't bother me now, it's that you oftentimes have to answer, because viewership to you looks consistent, right? It looks like we have like a consistent number of viewers, but actually like viewers are changing all the time. There's a significant amount of people that just got here in the last like 5 minutes, right? Or 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And there's going to be new people that come in like the like next like 20 minutes or things like that. So because of that, a lot of times you have to like repeat conversations. So you better like what you're talking about. I like talking about business, so I'm cool with talking about business multiple times. If people are coming in and asking the same business questions, hey Devin, how do you grow a stream? Hey Devin, what do you think about content creation? Hey Devin, what do you think about running a small business? Okay, cool. Like I can answer those questions. Like that's good. A stock guy said, I'm new to investing. Where do I start? Yep. What are the best stocks? What do you think of probably the things what you get? What do you think of Amazon? What do you think of Google? What do you think of Fang? What do you think of Netflix? Should I short Tesla? I can't describe to you what it's like to be told the same thing thousands of times a day, every day of your life, in your career, always, and it never ends, and you can never escape it. It's an empathy thing. You just have to feel it out. It's like, what would happen if I was this person? It's literally just that most people won't be happy being leaders. Everybody wants the perks of authority, but nobody wants to accept the responsibility of it. We have this like fairy tale that gets told in America where it's like this like the entrepreneurial or the leadership journey is like where you want to end up, but I don't think that's true. I think that there's like a lot more happiness that comes through things like building family, having a good group of friends, building out a lot of hobbies and skills and things like that are much more important. So many people, so many of my mentors and so many people are like, oh, like you've got to push for quality on YouTube. You have to push for it. Meanwhile, people like Asmongold are literally posting like brain dead clips, but they're posting so much of them that I should say his team is that like it doesn't matter, right? Like they're literally posting at such a volume that like people are gonna pick up on it. Like this dude is literally uploading 4 times a day, 5 times a day. Look at this, and so like eventually like people are just gonna pick it up because of the sheer volume. Is like the thing to realize about YouTube is that there just isn't enough content to watch. That sounds crazy, but compare the number of viewers to the number of people that are actually creating consistent content that's even remotely interesting and not like AI dog shit is so small. So if you just release stuff, even if the quality is like low-ish, you'll still do well. But like a bunch of YouTubers, they get self-important about like what they think is the right way to do YouTube, and they think that you like they're all thinking like Mr. Beast. Everybody thinks like Jimmy, and they all think like, oh, if I push the most amount of quality to YouTube possible, then I'm going to be the most successful. But this is absolutely not true. Like people post, you can just post general topics to YouTube at such a consistency. Like there's so many fucking people that approve this. Moist Critical proves this. Pirate Software proves this. Like it's not that the content is bad. It's just that like it's just very general and not particularly well researched or like really well informed. It's just kind of just talking about stuff. Like this works at scale. So I knew that, and that was my strategy going in. But I allowed myself to kind of get caught up in like I need to produce like really high quality videos, and people are calling me out on like very specific sections of research. But the truth is like you just got to disable all comments and just keep going.
And I was like, anytime you want to be discovered on a platform, the platform's not going to do it for you. They're never going to be like, I'm going to make you famous now. What you have to do is you have to look at what they're doing, what makes them the most money, and kind of follow that trend is how I felt about it. It's like, okay, they're putting every piece of effort into the YouTube short, and no one is really capitalizing on this super heavily. So my plan was to go from about 10,000 subscribers to about 15,000 by the end of the year. Because I think we were at 13,000 at the time. We would go to 15,000 by the end of the year. We broke 1 million before the end of the year. It did phenomenally well. But my entire strategy around this,
it did okay.
Yeah, it did okay. We just hit 2 million this like last week as well, which is just crazy. So it hasn't stopped. The thing that got me about this was like my plan was release a short every day. We have our new editor to be able to do all the shorts content.
1 short a day. This, by the way, is my same goal. I want to get to 1 short a day so bad.
And it wasn't even like an issue of quality.
So YouTube has a strict kind of requirement. You can have a maximum of 3 types of any piece of content uploaded per day before it doesn't go into discovery. So 1 video, 2 community posts, 2 shorts, 1 long video, 3 long videos, 3 shorts, right? So you want to like, if you're a YouTuber, you want to max that out.
From the other editor, it was just an issue of throughput. We wanted to do something that was more content, 1 every day, right? Never miss it. And then release it at exactly
1 short a day is like not that much. I
did that is because that is the lunch break time period for all of the companies down the West.
Okay, sorry. So we're back to this. He said he's uploading a short once per day. He acknowledges his demographic is a lot of like game developers, so he's
more
uploading
content,
that and he's doing
day,
it
right. Never miss it,
at
and then
12
release
noon,
it at exactly
every day.
noon every day, noon PST. The reason I did that is because that is the lunch break time period for all of the companies down the West Coast of the United States, and that is mostly tech companies, which is I produce a lot of tech content, so that's the exact moment they look at their phone. The moment they pull out their phone for lunch is the moment that they can see that, and then my short pops up, and that's right when the algo picks it up, and then they spread it to regional office plan. And I was like, maybe we'll get a couple thousand subscribers. There was a lot more than that, and it did it way more fantastic. And now it's every time I open up YouTube, I see myself like 5 times at the bottom. It's great.
Dude, man, Thor, I can't tell you how much I freaking love you, man. Because
all analytics.
Everything you're saying is exactly what I did for streaming 10 years ago. And I loved it. I mean, like, that's why
Ko was really late to the YouTube game.
I picked the 8 a.m. That's why I did the positioning. That's why I did all this stuff.
But again, because like as a content creator, he wasn't really incentivized to do any differently. He's making a ton of money and has a ton of viewership on Twitch, so who cares?
You literally repeated what I did on Twitch on YouTube Shorts.
It's like, the same thing I did on my stream, actually.
Like,
so
I love that.
I streamed from midnight to noon for a long time, and I still stream that time slot. I stream from midnight to noon PST. And the reason why is because there was very
I also
little
did that
competition
when I first started streaming and I was like actually trying to grow viewership. I grew in the 10 p.m. Does anyone remember this? Is there anyone old enough on the stream when it was twitch.tv/Melixia, and we streamed from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. playing League of Legends because that was I wanted to get around all of the pros and people that were actually good at the game, so that you had no choice but to watch me that was bad at the game.
The category for software and game development, which is a category that we fought for, by the way. It didn't exist. We yelled at Twitch for almost a year for them to make it, and they finally did. And then in that category, I found a spot where I could be in the Kingmaker slots, which is the top 3 slots.
It's Daft owns that time slot right now.
And then also by running ads, which Twitch allows you to run ads, it got rid of pre-rolls on the channel. Running ads removed pre-rolls, which increased our followers per hour by 6 to 7 times.
I just want to repeat that stat for people that are content creators here. That's a really important thing to listen to again. Yeah, I totally agree, K-Truth. Yeah, Ko's shit is like really cool. Like on YouTube.
Which Twitch allows you to run ads. It got rid of pre-rolls on the channel.
Got rid of pre-rolls.
Ads removed pre-rolls, which increased our followers per hour by 6 to 7 times.
Removing pre-rolls increased ads, increased number of followers that he got by 6 to 7 times the amount.
Tell me that. I'm currently
That's why you have to run ads every hour.
Turning on ads per hour to get rid of pre-rolls.
Just think about it this way, man. How many times have you gone to a channel and you get 8 ads right up front and you're like, I don't want to watch this shit. I've never seen this person before in my life. That's every viewer, dude. It's a TV show. If you tune into a TV show, you've never seen that shit, it's got 8 ads, you're changing the channel. And that's exactly how I felt about it. So I was like, okay, we're going to run ads, and then I need to do it in a way that doesn't suck for the viewer, because I don't want it to suck for me if I'm watching a channel. So I pause the stream during the ad breaks. So every 30 minutes we do a 2-minute break, pause whatever game I'm doing, pause all the shit that I'm doing, we just do nothing. And by setting it up that way, it's more respectful to the viewer's time. They don't feel left out whether they're monetized or not.
I would much rather do 3 minutes on the hour than 2 minutes every 30.
And I get a little bit of a break for a moment because I'm streaming 12 hours.
But he is making so much fucking money on 2 minutes every 30. Like his ad revenue is probably 60 to 70K a month alone before subs.
A long ass time.
Yeah.
And then on top of it, it allows us to get more viewers because all those people don't have pre-rolls in them. So it worked out really nicely. So what I've been trying to do is just find every one of the systems that these platforms has that makes them money. They can also remove a barrier for the viewer, right? That's the whole thing around it. Is just make it the coolest experience for the people who are watching and make sure that the platform is happy and it goes in the direction of their business model.